I've got a trick that's better than the Tinkercad ruler, and it's time to show it to you. So let's get cracking. We're starting quickly at my Patreon. There are free group chats. You can check out the different ones right here. In this chat, John asked me to check out this project. Notice I can click on it and I can give it a reaction. I'm going to say that I like it, and I'm going to hit copy and tinker. So the question was, how do you measure this area on a project? I'll show you real quickly in Tinkercad. If you bring out a ruler, I'm going to set this right on a corner. Notice I can zoom in and snap it to that spot. Then when I click on the shape, it gives me measurements. The blue measurement is how long the entire object is, 101.6. The green line is how far it is from the center line. So right now, if I change this instead of -15, whatever, to 0, notice it snaps all the way to that side, but it's measuring from this edge. If you want it to be from the middle, you can click here and switch to midpoint. Now that number says 10. If I hit 0, it is split exactly in the middle, just like that. Same thing here. Right now it is 60 forward. If I switch that to 0, it is centered on that measuring tool. I do want you to know, if you want this grid to be in another direction, you can simply click the center dot and it flips it around to all 4 different options. Does not make a difference for this project, but I wanted to highlight that it was something you could choose if you ever needed. So this is how the Tinkercad ruler works. You just need to remember how to switch it this way. You need to remember that the green is the distance from the ruler point. Notice -50.8, exactly half of the 101.6. But the Tinkercad ruler really doesn't solve what John wants. He wants to know how wide this piece is right here. And let's skip this ruler altogether, and let's try and measure it with the sketch tool. I'm bringing in sketch. I'm setting it in a 20 by 20 grid. When we let go, if you've never seen Sketch before, don't forget to check out the Sketch features. These are awesome. They explain everything about it. You can check it out at your leisure. You can always just click right here to get rid of it. If you prefer my tutorials, you can check this bit.ly, and of course, it's always right there if you need it. So once again, we need to measure this. All I'm going to do is click right here, and bang, you know that that piece is really size 10. That was the question the user was asking. You can do this anywhere. If I finish that one, I can hit P for pen, and I can come over here and I can measure this as well. Notice this is 20. When you're done, of course, you can delete those, and you just remember that it was 10 and 20 and hit Finish Sketch. If you want to record it so you can remember it later, you can just hit N for note. I'm going to put 10. And of course, I'm going to hit N for note over here, and I'm going to put the 20 to keep it labeled so I keep track of how it is that I build it. Now, I'm not quite sure what the finished project is going to be for this, but I am going to show you real quickly. This was union grouped, so obviously John is trying to make it longer. I'm going to ungroup again, and I'm going to ungroup again back here, and I'm going to ungroup one more time. So what we've got is this original project was really 2 of these. And of course, that made measuring even tougher as John was trying to extend it. What I want to share with you is if you take this STL into your slicer, I've got a tutorial that shows you how to split it and then bring in the single shape of the part that you really want to work with. That might make this a little bit easier. And then also, instead of drawing this with a standard cube, I would have just drawn it with a piece of sketch. Notice if we go back in here, you can just click on this point and stretch that back as far as you want. If you hold shift, it forces it to go straight and across, and bang, you've got your part. You know your measurements, and it just makes life a little bit slicker. So as I wrap up, huge shout out to John for taking a moment to share the question. Love when they're put in my Patreon messaging area. That is a fantastic way for other users to gain skills, and it's a great way for you to get me the link so that I can actually look in your design and give you some answers. Of course, I do want to mention, we all know the Tinkercad ruler is not quite as slick as we need it to be. I do like that using this little sketch tool does give us a cool way to click on a point and at least get much closer than the ruler does at the moment. Of course, if you've got comments or ideas about the ruler, you can add it in the video below. You never know, the Tinkercad devs might even spot it. Quickly, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 different levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos, and make sure you pay attention for those members-only posts. Also, a massive shout out to everybody that supports me via Patreon. Love of that group is growing. We are past 400 members. Of course, it has the fantastic messaging area where you can ask questions, post designs, and gain skills. Don't forget you can learn more with that bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or hit subscribe. You're helping HLModTech get just a little bit bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day and keep tinkering.